All right, let's cut to the chase. Life's a grind, no doubt. But it's also an amazing journey if you play your cards right. People around the world are out here hustling, and success can feel like it's just around the corner. But only if you know the right moves. These aren't the fake hype lessons you see on TikTok. These are real, actionable truths that have stood the test of time. You can pick them up, apply them, and start building your future today. It doesn't matter if you're in New York, Sydney, London, Zurich, or anywhere in between. These lessons are universal. You just gotta have the patience, put in the effort, and stop rushing. 1. Extend the timeline. First off, stop rushing. Too many people out here think that if they don't blow up by 25, they've missed the boat. But here's the deal. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. You're seeing young people flexing millions on social media, and it can get in your head, right? But guess what? That's not the full picture. Take a step back. Extend your timeline. You don't need to become a millionaire overnight. Trust. In fact, if you try to rush it, you might burn out or miss out on what matters. Look, whether you're in Canada, the UK, or Australia, no one's timeline looks the same. If you've got a solid plan and you work consistently, success will show up. Just be patient and focus on building the right habits. When you focus on long-term growth, the world slows down, and you can actually enjoy the ride. 2. Walk with purpose. Here's something that's often overlooked. How you walk into a room. Your vibe, your energy, it matters. Walk with purpose. If you've got a goal, make it clear in your body language. If you're in Switzerland or Sweden, people can read the room. And when you walk through it like you've got a direction, they'll notice. And I'm not talking about walking like you've got it all figured out. Nah, it's just about moving with intention. It's about looking like you know what you're doing. Even if you don't, show up like you do. It's how people perceive you. Whether you're walking into a job, interview, or just making your way down the street in Berlin, walk tall, keep your chin up, keep the shoulders back. Act like you know where you're going. 3. Focus on practicality, not purpose. Listen up, everyone. Loves talking about finding their purpose or waiting for their big break. But here's the thing. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Start with what's practical. Learn the skills that'll actually get you paid. It doesn't matter if you're in Norway, the States, or Canada. Get practical. Start with something that's tangible. Get a job, pick up an apprenticeship, or learn a skill that people need. Focus on building the foundation and trust that the purpose will come later. Purpose is something that'll grow naturally as you gain experience. So don't put pressure on yourself to figure it all out. Whether it's coding, sales, or even creating content, it doesn't matter what your big dream is yet. Just start with something that will put food on the table and teach you the ropes. The rest will follow, I promise. 4. Build high-income skills. All right, here's the meat and potatoes of it all. High-income skills. This is where it gets serious. Whether you're in the US, New Zealand, or the UAE, the reality is this. Skills pay the bills. We're talking things like marketing, sales, copywriting, and tech skills that will always be in demand. If you want to break out of the 9-to-5 grind or build something that lasts, focus on learning these high-income skills. They'll pay off in the long run. Now sure, it might not feel like you're killing it in the beginning, but over time these skills give you the freedom to live life on your terms. No more worrying about your next paycheck. So don't waste time on things that are going to fade. Ask yourself, will this skill be valuable in 5, 10, or 20 years? If the answer is yes, get to work. Whether you're in London, Zurich, or the heart of Europe, this advice rings true. 5. Enjoy the journey. Yeah, I know, everyone wants to get to the top, right? But here's the kicker, enjoy the journey. Too many people are so focused on the destination that they forget to appreciate the grind. Whether you're in Belgium or down in Australia, there's no perfect time to sit back and relax, but there is value in appreciating the ride. The hustle is tough, no doubt. There'll be days when you feel like you're getting nowhere. But those are the moments that shape you. Appreciate the hard work, the grind, and the lessons you learn from it all. Because when you finally get to where you want to be, it won't just be about the result, it'll be about how you got there. So take a step back. Appreciate the little wins along the way. Whether it's getting a compliment on your work, hitting a small target, or learning something new, the journey matters as much as the destination. 6. Keep your word. Build your reputation. Your word is everything. Whether you're in Sweden, the UK, or Germany, your reputation is what will carry you. You mess that up and things start to unravel. But if you're known for following through on what you say, people will trust you and they'll want to work with you. It's simple. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Your word is your bond. In the business world, whether you're creating content, running a startup, or just trying to make a name for yourself. This one rule will elevate you above the rest. People respect someone who stands by their word. And trust me, respect is the real currency. The minute you break that trust, it takes forever to rebuild it. Don't let that happen. Chapter 7. Take radical ownership. All right, let's get into something that can change the entire course of your life. This isn't just about owning up to your mistakes. It's about taking full responsibility for everything that happens to you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When you take radical ownership, you stop pointing fingers and start realizing that everything that happens in your life, good or bad, ultimately, comes back to you. And I don't care where you're from, whether you're in the US, Canada, Australia, or anywhere in Europe, this mindset is universal. But here's the thing. How we approach this concept can be different depending on where we're raised, the cultures we're exposed to, and the values we're taught. Let's break it down. Radical ownership in different cultures. The US, the land of individualism. In places like America, personal responsibility is kind of a national anthem. It's all about being the captain of your own ship, right? You've heard the saying, you control your own destiny. That's a hallmark of American culture. There's a heavy emphasis on self-reliance. You make it happen, or you don't. If you succeed, that's because of your grind, your hustle, your ambition. And if you fail, that's on you too. There's a saying I've heard all my life in the US that goes like this. You want it bad enough, go get it. No one's gonna hand it to you. In the US, when people take ownership, they're doing it with the mindset of personal empowerment. They take pride in their independent journey, even if they had to scrape and claw their way to the top. Success or failure, they own it, because it's their life and their choices. Norway and Sweden, collective responsibility. Now, over in Norway and Sweden, the concept of responsibility is often tied to something bigger than just the individual. These countries have a strong sense of community and collective ownership, where personal success is not just about me, but about how your actions affect the group. When people take radical ownership here, they think not just about themselves, but about their impact on others. They might ask, how does my success contribute to society? How does my failure affect my community? But don't mistake this for weakness. It's a powerful form of ownership. It's not about blaming others. It's about taking responsibility for the bigger picture. It's about knowing that your actions, whether it's succeeding or falling, short, have ripple effects. And in these cultures, that's a huge responsibility to carry. Germany, precision and reliability. In Germany, personal responsibility is often associated with precision and reliability. Germans take immense pride in doing things right, and that means taking full ownership of both the outcome and the process. In German culture, it's about efficiency. If something goes wrong, there's no passing the blame. The mentality is simple. If something fails, we fix it. If something succeeds, we own it. German professionals, especially in fields like engineering or business, understand that their reputation is built on consistent reliability. If you say you'll get it done, you better get it done. If you miss a deadline or make a mistake, you better own it, learn from it, and make sure it doesn't happen again. Canada, balance between individual and community. Up north in Canada, there's a bit of a mix. Canadians are known for being empathetic and community-oriented, but also highly focused on individual growth and responsibility. Taking radical ownership in Canada means balancing both. It's about recognizing your role in the community, but also knowing that you are the driver of your own success. If you fail in Canada, it's not just about saying, I failed. It's about understanding how your failure impacts the people around you and taking the steps to not only own your mistakes, but also to repair any damage done. It's about building trust and showing others that you're the kind of person who can stand up, fix what went wrong, and move forward. Australia, practical responsibility. In Australia, taking radical ownership is often tied to practicality and action. Aussies are known for being straightforward and no nonsense. The mindset here isn't about making excuses, it's about doing what needs to be done. If something goes wrong, you fix it and you move on. People don't dwell on mistakes, they learn from them and adapt. The Australian she'll be right attitude is about recognizing mistakes and taking responsibility in a way that focuses on action rather than overthinking. The Australian way of ownership is almost like a daily routine. It's the attitude of, I messed up. Now let's get to work fixing it. No whining, no excuses. It's about getting results and owning the effort, win or lose. Why radical ownership matters. No matter where you are in the world, radical ownership is the key to growth. Here's the thing. When you start owning your failures as much as you own your successes, you unlock your true potential. It means you're not afraid of making mistakes. In fact, you embrace them because you know that each mistake is just a stepping stone to something greater. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your future. It's all about the mindset shift. When you fail, you don't point to external reasons. You look at what you could have done differently. You stop making excuses and you start solving problems. The reason why successful people, regardless of where they come from, keep succeeding is because they know how to own everything that happens to them. Take action. So what does radical ownership look like in your life? If you failed, do you take the time to reflect and think about how you can make things right? Or do you blame others? If you've succeeded, are you giving credit to those who helped you along the way? Or are you solely basking in your own glory? Radical ownership isn't just about saying, I did that. It's about truly owning your decisions, actions, and their outcomes. Whether you come from the US, Germany, Canada, or anywhere else, the principle stays the same. Life is about taking responsibility for where you are and where you're going. Next step, if you're ready to keep this momentum going, there's another video that dives even deeper into how small, consistent actions can change everything in your life. Check out my next video, The Mountain and the Ant. A story about tiny steps that change everything. Trust me, it'll shift the way you look at your journey to success. Click the link on the end screen, and let's keep pushing forward. What do you think of that?